The new, just released NIV Biblical Theology Study Bible. General Editor D.A. Carson. You probably have seen it advertised. It was previously published as the NIV Zondervan Study Bible. You've definitely seen that around. It sold more than 10 million copies. Now, this one is a re-release of the Zondervan Study Bible, but it has some new notes, new articles, new print, got a lot of new stuff. And it's 300 pages lighter than the Zondervan Study Bible. We're going to go through it, we're going to look at it, and I'm going to compare it to the Reformation Study Bible, which I believe is probably my go-to and one of the best. Now, this has a nice little cardboard box that it comes in. I'm going to actually let you pause and read the back here. Now, this is the one that's in bonded leather, and I've always wanted a Burgundy Bible, so I went ahead and got the one that's in Burgundy. I like it. Here's the spine. All right, now, I'm going to get right to the beginning. There's 2,547 pages in this Bible, and there's 2,880 in the NIV Zondervan. So it's about 330 pages lighter. Now, one of the biggest things about this is, and I'm going to show the difference between, say, like the Reformation. Lots of color. Lots and lots of color in this biblical theology. And I cannot begin to tell you how awesome all the maps are in this thing. But here's some of the editorial people who worked on the commentary. Now, I hope that you're able to pause it, zoom in maybe, and see a lot of these scholars and theologians who worked on the commentary notes for each section of the Bible. All right, so there is 20 essays at the end of the Bible, which we're going to get to. And this is before Genesis. I actually have a chronological study Bible, and it has a lot of timeline notes like that in here. Introduction to the Old Testament. It has a lot. First of all, me, as kind of like a history buff in myself, I love these kind of things. These are inserted all throughout the Bible. Pictures of, here's a part of the Dead Sea Scroll, actual picture of it. And just little things like that. I mean, it just opens up studying to a whole new level. And I've actually found that the notes, of course, there's over 20,000 notes in this particular Bible. And I haven't read them all, of course, but I've been looking at, say, like Romans 9 notes as compared to the Reformation Study Bible, okay? And trying to find where it is exactly that the commentators stand on doctrinal issues, okay? I think that, let me show you the introduction to Romans first. From what I can tell so far regarding the commentary, I believe that this is going to take a slightly, very ever so slightly, ecumenical stand regarding some of the doctrinal issues, okay? So we're going to get to it. Bear with me for a second here, all right? Just hold on. Now, I think that, say, like, when you're talking about, like the doctrines of grace, God's sovereignty in election. You're going to find that the Reformation Study Bible takes, of course, a strong stance. You know, General Editor R.C. Sproul. And when Paul is quoting Malachi chapter 1, Esau I hated, but Jacob have I loved. In here, I'm going to show it to you. So right here, and there's the arguments that go around. In the NIV Biblical Theology Study Bible, it makes the argument both that there is the national Israel and not the personal election, but then it also comes back and says that the context is most likely referring to personal election. And when you ever talk to somebody about the personal election and things like that, some doctrinal issues, when you arise from the Romans 9 debate, which everybody has, if you ever get into theology discussion, people will say, oh, no, it's not talking about Esau personally, it's Esau representing, and no, this is, and I'm very proud of the commentators pointing out, no, this is talking about personal election. So that helps out a lot. I've been reading all the other commentary, and I'd say that it's safe. It's very doctrinally sound, the commentary notes. I'm not the biggest fan of the NIV translation itself, but that's okay because I was actually looking at a comparison between, the 1984 NIV, which everybody loves, and the 2011 NIV, and then there's actually 61% of the 1984 NIV is used in the 2011 NIV, and then actually 91% of the 2011 NIV uses the TNIV translation. So the 2011 NIV is not quite as bad as it's gotten the rap to be. It's got a really bad reputation. But translation issues aside, let me show you something right here. These side column references, the cross references right here, they're very easy to read. The commentary is easy to read. This has got this comfort print, they call it. The wording and the text is all bolded, even though it may not be like a super giant print 17 font. The font itself is bolded, and it makes it easier to read. Now, this is the Biblical Theology Study Bible, Romans 9. All right. Now, here's the Reformation Study Bible. Now, look at that difference. All right, so there's no color in the Reformation Study Bible, and the print isn't bolded. And look at these cross references over here. It's really hard to read. Now, I bet it's especially on the camera here, or watching the video, it's hard to read, but in person, it's hard to read too. So I really like the readability of the Biblical Theology Bible. Now, I'm going to jump to something here in Romans 16. Let me get to it. Paul mentions Erastus. Now, here's Romans 16 in the Reformation Study Bible. Okay, now go with me here to the Biblical Theology. I thought this was really neat. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know this existed, and this is what I'm talking about. See, in Romans 16 in the Biblical Theology Bible, it actually has this picture of a stone carving, which is in Latin, in Corinth, dating to the mid-1st century, which mentions an Erastus. Most likely the Erastus mentioned by Paul in Romans 16. And the inscription reads, Erastus, in return for his aedileship, laid this pavement at his own expense. So I thought that was a pretty cool piece of history there that I didn't even know. So I'm learning just from some of the maps and things. And in the introduction to each book, of course, the Reformation Study Bible, MacArthur Study Bible has that too. But this is a really, detailed color maps, color pictures, introduction to 1 Corinthians, and each book has that, of course. Now, let me show you something here. If you've been watching my other videos, I've been really trying to push, talk about, and really just get out there the great depth of the Crossway ESV Concordance. All right? You've probably seen it yourself if you have a Crossway Bible, an ESV. The concordance on there is crazy, especially in the ESV Study Bible. But none of the concordances compare to this behemoth. 150 pages. 55, if I remember right. It is just insane. Concordance, NIV, Biblical Theology, Study Bible, goes 150 pages. It's insane. The depth of this concordance. It is just crazy. It just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I've never seen a concordance in a Bible nearly as big. It's just not, doesn't even compare. There's no other Bible, study Bible that I own anyway. And there's certainly no Scripture alone Bible that has a concordance that comes close. Now, here's what I really like too. You remember we talk about maps in the Bible? Nobody ever looks at the maps, right? Well, it's probably hard to navigate the maps because it's got 150 different things of interest, points of interest on the map. So nobody really knows what they're looking at, right? Okay, so the biblical theology people, D.A. Carson and everybody, they said, all right, let's make an index for the maps. So they have 14 color maps back here in the back. Okay, this is just one. And there's 14 of them. All right, now they have an index. So let's say you're trying to find the Adriatic Sea. Where is the Adriatic Sea? All right, where's that at? Where is that Adriatic Sea? Okay, we go to 13th map, and we go to B3. All right, so we go to the 13th map. Oh, here's the 13th map, and we go to B3, Adriatic Sea. See that? So now I'm actually incentivized. I actually want to get into the maps in the back. I think that's a really great feature as far as studying is concerned. Now let me show you something else too. There are 20 essays submitted by people like D.A. Carson, okay, Kevin DeYoung, Brian Peterson. All right, let me show you this one in here. You're going to love it. I'm almost wanting to scan this picture, this graph, if you will, and actually make it a cover photo on Facebook because it is so spot on. Of course, you got your tables, weights, and measurements. All right, here's the articles. I'm going to pick this up so you can see it. We can pause that and read it. Okay, the one that I want to show you, this one article. So they're not inserted throughout the Bible like they are with the Reformation Study Bible. Oh, well, at least in the Reformation Study Bible, they have miniature paragraphs, and then they have actual topical articles in the back. So, The Bible and Theology by D.A. Carson. Now check this out right here. Sound exegesis, proper exegesis of the text, leads to biblical theology, historical theology, systematic theology, and pastoral theology, which if you ever get into any higher education in the Bible, you will be studying each of those systems of theology. But each of those theologies, each of those systems of study lead back to exegesis. I mean, it's just amazing. This article that D.A. Carson put together, The Bible and Theology, found here in the NIV Biblical Theology Study Bible. It's just amazing. This is an outstanding study Bible. I've looked at probably 200 of the commentary notes so far, and it is just a great, great study Bible. And I don't know if you're in the market for one, you should always be in the market for a study Bible. And I would recommend to you that you get a hold of this thing. I got it from christianbook.com for $47. And there is absolutely no way you could tell me, or anybody can make the case, that this Bible is not worth $47. 2,600 pages almost. Full color maps, full color pictures all throughout. See, like I just flipped to Ruth. Here we got the town gate of Beersheba. I didn't even know about that. I just learned something right now in the video watching this thing. Okay, and this is, it just goes on and on and on. All these color pictures and maps inserted throughout. There's all kinds of graphs and charts. Okay, it would take too much time to show it to you all. Pick up a NIV Biblical Theology Study Bible as soon as you can.